Alrighty, tell me your name.
I'm Zach Pochiro.
Alright. Is there something specific about hockey that you like? Keeps you playing?
I think maybe for me growing up, you know, I always was kind of a rambunctious kid and kind of always did, kind of went with the flow, and kind of, you know, parents kind of looked at that a little bit differently, and the one way I could express who I really was on the ice and I could show them I was more than what, you know, the naked eye could appear. So that was kind of, for me, it was like, you know, it didn't matter how my day was that day. You know, it all mattered about that hour and 30 minutes I was on that ice. I could be whoever I wanted to be. So that meant a lot.
Okay. Who would you credit for your success in hockey? Family, coaches, teammates?
My dad, and my mom, and my family. I know my brother and sister had to sacrifice a lot for me to go out of town and do what I had to do. Then, you know, my sister and brother couldn't see my dad as much because he was with me. You know, my mom, vice versa, she took care of the kids while I was out trying to, you know, pursue my dreams. So if it would be anyone, it wouldn't be a particular person, it'd just be my family.
Did your dad play hockey?
No, he was a boxer and a football player and a basketball player, baseball. He did all the major high school sports.
Okay. What is your favorite hockey memory or something that stands out as a defining moment in your career so far?
There's a
We
couple.
know you're still going.
Yeah, there's a couple. Probably when I got drafted to the NHL, that was a big moment. That was, you know, it was rewarding for everyone, not just me.
St. Louis Blues.
That, yeah, St.
Fourth
Louis.
round, 112 overall.
Yeah, that was a fun time because it wasn't just me that accomplished something. Then it was, you know, my family. We got to put our name out there and be, you know, proud of what we accomplished. So that was probably the big one.
How did you find out you were drafted?
I was watching. It was the day they did the draft all in one day, and I was watching it up to the first 3 rounds, and then they took it off. So then I went home to get a change of clothes and stuff. I was with my friends. We were at a pool party or something, and we were hanging out. And I get a call from my GM in Prince George saying, you know, screaming, he's going crazy, and I have no idea what he's talking about. And he goes, "You did it! You got drafted to the NHL." And then I was, you know, then all the emotions kind of hit, and then I, at the end of the conversation, I asked who drafted me, and he said my favorite team, the St. Louis Blues, did. And then it all kind of, it was like a dream come true from there.
So that was your favorite team growing up?
Yes, I was born in St. Louis. I lived there for a year and then lived in Vegas ever since.
Oh, well, that's awesome.
Hence the Rams.
Yep.
Got it.
Yep.
What advice do you have for young kids in Las Vegas who are now catching on to the sport of hockey?
My best advice would be don't let anyone tell you you can't be anything you can. You know, growing up in Vegas, we were always told, oh, you play hockey in Vegas, you're not good enough, this and that. You know, Canadian kids, we're better because, you know, and that's all false. It's all crap. And I think a lot of kids from Vegas have been proven that of recent. You got Gage Quinney, you got Jason Zucker, you got, you know, Atkins playing in the WHL. You got a lot of kids that are trying to make moves. You got, you know, Bub Harris playing D1 college hockey. So any kid from Vegas thinks they can't do it because they live in the desert, you're wrong.
Right. What do you do in the off season to improve yourself for the next season, like conditioning, strength training, and relaxation?
Yeah, I mean, the big one for this off season has been relaxation. You know, it's tough to get into shape and then be told, okay, 2 more months, 3 more months.
Yeah.
So I think the big one for me personally has been, you know, get my mind right. You know, use this break as, you know, use it to benefit instead of it ruin, you know, what's going on. It's been a tough process though, this whole thing. So
When did your last actual season end?
March. On like the 13th they ended it.
Oh, right.
And I was home the 14th. It sent me home on a plane that day.
Wow. Yeah, I was reading, just a little side note here to get your reflection on also. I read that some trainers were talking about how right now with this big, long pause type thing, they work the players up and then down and then up and then down because it's not like they have a date that they know exactly and okay, we're ramping up for that.
Yeah.
It's like don't know, so they just are kind of on a
peak and
valley type system.
And
Other than conditioning, weightlifting, is there something that you do to keep in shape that's more fun, more engaging?
that's a good question. Yeah, recently I've been playing racquetball. we don't have basketball courts, so we play some basketball. For some reason, I feel like it kind of correlates with hockey, like drive into the lane. It's kind of similar to hockey, teammates and passing, and it's all quick, and there's no real stoppage, kind of. Great cardio. I like basketball, but because there's no basketball, I've been playing racquetball at LVAC, and that's been fun. It's a different change of pace. It's nice to hit a ball as hard as you can, and it,
My
it
dad,
comes flying around.
he plays basketball. He's almost 80.
Cut off 3
He
times.
played 3 times a week full court, but now they couldn't do that, so he's been doing pickleball.
Yeah, see, it's way different.
Yeah. Do you do outdoor stuff? Like, do you go biking or hiking, running?
I live over in Desert Shores, so sometimes I'll like once a week hit a run around the lakes. It's real nice and relaxing, especially now that the weather's a lot better than what it used
Played
to
a
be.
little roller hockey during the
Yeah,
shutdown.
we were doing roller hockey for a bit. That was fun. We were getting a good group to go out to the parks and play some roller hockey.
I missed that. That was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah.
It was hot, but it was
it got too hot. That's what it was. I think it was like 90 when we were doing it. See ya.
When I was playing high school basketball and the Seattle Thunderbirds were doing crappy at the time, I too saw that correlation. I was like, surely I can come up with a play they can do. Someone else we're doing in high school basketball.
Yeah.
So I'm with you on that. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Oh wow, my buddy just had that question asked to him the other day, and he said, "Wow, I hope I'm not in jail." But that's not what I'm. No, I mean for me, 5-year plan. With me, I got the Fort Wayne tryout coming up here in January, and then I got a Silver Knights tryout. I don't know how that all is going to
Oh,
correlate.
wow.
So
Well, we got our fingers crossed for you. Either
yeah,
way.
so for my 5-year plan, I guess I'm more so taking it month by month. That's kind of the minor league hockey. That's kind of your agenda, because you never know. You might go to Europe. You could get it. You never know. Whatever is the best offer. So for me, it's just try to use these next 2 months, get in the best shape I possibly can, and try to turn some heads here in the next couple months.
Okay.
Speaking of Europe, how was Denmark?
I loved it. The experience was amazing. The people there were so nice. The hockey, it sucks that we got shut down early. But as far as the experience and the people I met, it was the best time I've ever had.
Well, if you make Silver Knights, you get to sign my poster. If you make Golden Knights, you get to sign the flamingo.
Okay.
You know the whole flamingo thing,
Yeah,
right?
that works.
Yeah, that's my signature flamingo. I'm only lacking about 6 signatures.
Okay.
You can help me track down the
Yeah,
rest of
yeah,
them.
I can do
need
that.
Right?
I can do that.
What is your college experience?
I did not go to college.
Okay.
I guess my college experience would be my friends that went to UNLV. Whatever they. Yeah, I was the one that tagged along, and I made a lot of friends.
Vicariously.
Yeah, I made a lot of friends doing that. A lot of my best friends went and are now lawyers, and now they're all finishing college, and it's small world how it's all kind of correlating and getting big boy jobs now.
Yeah. So, what does it feel like when you get slammed into the boards or hit with a puck?
It depends. Depends on if it hits you a certain way or not. Sometimes you don't feel a thing. Sometimes you could barely get hit and it could break something. You never know. I mean, it's all about how you brace for it, or how far away you are from the boards or the puck when it shoots off the stick. But usually you got enough pads, and you know how to angle yourself to where you try not to get hurt.
Anticipate it.
Yeah.
Take it well, best you can. Is there any I remember when I was hit by this guy. Do you have any of those?
Yeah, there's quite a few guys actually. Yeah, I mean Kolazar, you guys know who that is. Yeah, he beat me up in juniors when we were kids. I remember I had to fight him, and I did not want to, and it was a good fight, but it got to a point where I was like, I'm just gonna go down so I don't get hurt.
Yeah.
Your dad was a boxer. You get tips from him.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he usually gets mad if I put my head down, or if I get beat up and it's too bad. Then he's like, all right, you're better than that. But other than that, no, he just tells me to protect myself more, so not so much get hurt.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, don't try to throw if you're outmatched.
What is your hockey teeth record?
Oh, it's not very good. I got
Some chips.
Yeah, I lost this one. This one's fake. This one's chipped. When I went to Europe, I wasn't on insurance, so I couldn't fix my tooth because it happened over here.
Oh.
So I had to wait a year, and now that there's no hockey going on, I have no insurance, so I'm walking around town with a broken tooth. It's tough in Vegas too, because no one understands it.
Yeah.
Wait. Then you tell them hockey, they're like, oh, that makes sense. But before, they just think you're crazy.
Yeah.
Later I can talk to you about the adventures of my life.
That could work, yeah.
I'll talk to you later. Do you have a favorite hockey movie? Cats is Mighty Ducks.
Hockey movie. I mean, there's some classics.
Yeah.
Of course, you got the Mighty Ducks, all of them, and then you got Slapshot.
They just came out with
Yeah.
a jersey. Did you see that?
They're
Still, the Hanson brothers are still
wow.
on Twitter.
Oh yeah, as long as they're alive.
They
Yeah.
have now a new Chiefs jersey with the putting on the foil. It comes wrapped in foil and everything.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
They've been doing a lot of tweeting this week.
That's amazing.
And yours is?
I mean, it's kind of, I like Goon. I like that one too.
Which one? Oh, Goon.
Goon,
Yeah.
I like
There's
that
two
one.
Goons.
Yeah.
There's the original Goon and
I like the first one.
Mystery Alaska is pretty fun.
Yeah.
I like the first one because, I mean, in a way, that is what those fighters go through. Their job
Yeah.
is to go out there and beat people up, and people I don't think realize that. To be sitting on the bench, cold feet, sitting there, and then all of a sudden get told to go fight the toughest guy in the league, and they go out there and do that, no problem for the guys on their team. I don't think people really realize that aspect, and I don't think people realize how big it is to the game for that.
Yeah.
They want to take it out of hockey, but
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's-
Ice Guardians is another one.
it's,
Yeah,
yeah.
I was
See
just gonna say
Mystery Alaska?
That's another good one. I mean, there's so many classics that it's hard to point one on. I mean, Mystery Alaska could be my favorite too. There's another great one.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them.
So we'd like to encourage you in this direction. Would you like to be a coach someday?
Yes and no. Yes, if the right opportunity came. No, I don't want to go chasing that, dream. I don't want to be on buses going from town to town, and doing
Like
all.
a youth coach or something?
Or like a junior hockey coach, some of that, if it makes sense and it's a good stepping stone, yes. But that's a tough life, to do all that stuff and not get to play. That would kind of, that's a whole different aspect
You
now.
can do the slap shot thing, play and coach.
Yeah, be a player coach. Yeah, that's another thing.
I actually saw you kind of leading a brook skate over at LBIC, and you were amazing. I mean, some of the drills and stuff you were doing, I'm like, you should be a coach. That's why we're asking you.
Yeah, it's definitely in the cards if it came up. I always thought maybe one day UNLV I could do something to help out that if it ended up taking that next step. I would love to do that. I think that would be a good mix, especially because I was a player and I know how the kids, they're going to do what they do regardless. You just got to try to monitor it and make, I think it could help, and I know the game a little bit. But I mean, I'm still trying to play, so I guess I'm more so
Just not ready for
focusing
that.
on the next 2 months, you know what I mean? Like instead of the 5-year plan.
Well, we'd like to say it's in your wheelhouse.
Okay, thank you.
Have you ever gotten to play on an outside lake or pond?
Yes. When I was a kid, we had a Fargo tournament, and we were 9 years old, and after and before games, we would go and play in the pond. We'd be so tired, and we didn't care. We'd go and play a game after. It didn't matter. And I didn't get it because I was like, the dad that was doing it, he was like, no, we're going to do it. Well, you'll remember this for the rest of your life. And I thought, shouldn't we be resting for the games and stuff? And looking back on it, I was 9 years old. Those games were,
Memory makers.
yeah, it was meaningless to try to take it that seriously. To enjoy the moment was more important.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
What position are you technically? What are you listed in the roster?
I tell my coaches I'm a Swiss Army knife.
Okay.
So I can play left wing, I can play right wing, I can play center, I can play D on the power play if you need me to. I can play defense on the power play. I can play in front of the net.
What do you prefer to play?
Honestly, it doesn't matter because it's all different positions. Like if I play center, I know I got to help the D out. I'm playing more defense. If I play wing, my goal is to score. That's your job, is to not let my D man score and score. And I like playing wing because there's more offense,
Yeah.
But I also like playing center because you're more active. You're involved with the D. You're in the zone. You're skating. You're free. You can be wherever you want. And I love playing D on the power play because I just shoot the puck as hard as I can, and hopefully it goes in.
I've heard you mention that idea prior. So
Yeah.
So if you get to sign a big fat NHL contract one day, what kind of car would you buy?
I have, with the first contract I got a truck, and I like that one a lot. But I think I would buy an old school Chevy, Mustang, or no, not a Chevy Mustang, but a Ford Mustang or something like that, or GTO or something.
And you'll come back and give me a ride.
Yeah, whatever. I want to get something kind of old school. I like the old school look better, Make sure it doesn't have too many car problems because I don't know much about that.
So we've heard that some of the best hockey players have taken figure skating classes. Have you ever done that?
No, never did that.
You know Brad May? May.
Okay, yeah.
He highly recommends it.
And I would agree.
The
Yeah.
edge work and
Figure skating stuff.
You're off balance on one foot a lot, and I
Like
totally
Battle of
would,
the Blades stuff.
I would totally would have to agree with that. But me personally, I never did that.
Okay. You still can.
Yeah.
It's like football players and ballet, right?
Exactly,
Is that
yeah.
what you're talking about that?
Exactly. It just develops your entire body better.
Yep.
So you talked about how you found out you were drafted by the Blues. How did you find out you were going to be playing with the Comets?
I got a call from their coach, and he was my coach in Norfolk,
Okay.
and
Virginia?
yeah, and he called me and he said, hey, I've been following you the last 3 years. I see you still, have progressed from when I had you before. We'd like you to play, but here's the issue, here's that. And we ended up making a deal to where I'll play for a little bit less if I can get a tryout for the Silver Knights.
Oh.
That's all I want. I just want a chance back to where I think I belong.
Oh, that's incredible.
So I figured, all right, if you give me a tryout, the only thing that kind of sucks is, with everything going on, I don't know how that's going to work right now. So, and all I can do is just worry about me and try to be the best I'm capable of being. But that's kind of tough right now with, you can't see the future yet, and everything's,
When do you report for camps?
They wanted us for January, and then, but I heard something about February, but I know the ECHL works differently than the NHL, so I'm going for December or January, and I'm gonna try to. If that doesn't work, I don't know what to
Keep
do.
your phone open.
Yep.
Yeah,
Keep
seriously.
skating.
I'll just hang outside the Knights with a sign saying something.
We'll play for
Yeah,
food.
actually, for 10-cent wings or something. Come on.
All right. I'm out of questions.
Do you have any?
What's your funniest thing that's ever happened during a game or something? I mean, just
PG level for our
Yeah,
fans.
yeah.
I wouldn't mind the R level one.
We can do that after.
The people that know me know my worst, and I can't say that on camera. The Vegas people that have played with me growing up, they know my worst moment, and that will have to be determined you'll have to figure that out through the people eventually. But I don't, for me personally, maybe when I was a kid, I played goalie one game, and my dad suited me up, put all the pads on. We went out there, and we forgot to put my pants on. And so I had my little cup and everything, and I was sliding around on the ice. My butt and everything was so cold.
Oh my God.
But that was probably the worst moment, because I remember getting hit too with the puck. I'm like, Dad, this is hurting. This is what goalies do. And he's like, oh, we forgot to put your pants on. I didn't want to tell you. It's like, I didn't want to tell you because I didn't want you to be scared, but now I got to tell you.
Oh, that's funny.
So that was probably the worst.
He just didn't want you to be a goalie.
He just didn't want me to be scared that I already was.
I ruined it for you.
Yeah, that was his way, yeah.
Wow. Oh my God.
I'll put him out there with no helmet and see if he likes it.
Yeah.
So,
What if you be like the plant?
yeah, exactly. It
Tell
worked.
me your name again.
Zach Pochiro.
How old are you?
I'm 26.
26. All right, I appreciate it very, very much.
Of course, I promised you I'd do this.
Yes.
Everything going on, it's been pushed back to now.
Like 8 months in the works.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, and good luck to you.
Yeah,
Good
of
luck
course,
to you.
of course. Thank you.
Worth the wait.